Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. Welcome back to the show today. So, we're going to talk about a region that I think here in Croatia is quite underrated, and I don't even know why. It's so close to the capital, Zagreb. I think literally it only takes 20 minutes by car. Incredibly beautiful, and that is Pleševica. We visited there over a series of weeks to talk to some of the producers, to spend time with them, to check it out, to try some of the wines, and I walked away really impressed. So, what is it? So, just southwest, I'm getting my orientation right, southwest of Zagreb, actually right along the highway, is the region of Pleševica, named after the village. And it's really crazy because Zagreb, as you're going down the highway, it's so flat. And then when you get to Pleševica, the hills go straight up. I mean, literally, it's really, really steep. There are a bunch of hills. Some of the vineyards, like I saw one vineyard, it looked like it was about 81 degrees. Also, the hills, I think, go up to 400, 500 meters. Boom, right from the flatlands. A region with actually a lot of history. All the producers, the cellars are really old. Their fathers, fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers were all making wine there over the Soviet times. Mostly there now is Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, a lot of Riesling. They have some native sorts like Žuti Plavec. Am I missing anything? They're growing some. It might be the best place in Croatia for Pinot Noir. There's actually one producer that has Syrah. Really some interesting stuff, but it's been identified as the best place in Croatia for sparkling wines because it's closer. It's close to the mountains, and you get that elevation, the acidity. So I'm going to go over some of the producers today that you might see on the market if you're visiting Croatia. There are about 30 in the series of villages around Pleševica. From what I understand, there's 4 top ones, and then after that, there's just a few that are actually concerned with quality. And I have them all here. So let's go over the sparkling wines first. One of Shireen's favorite is Tomac. He's the biggest sparkling wine producer, I think, in Croatia. This is the Towmots Amphora, Brut Natur from 2010. Now, what's interesting about this wine, this was the first method traditional sparkler made in Amfora. It's 50% Chardonnay and then 50% of all these unique indigenous varieties that are actually not so popular on the market. He fermented, macerated Amfora, so it's an orange wine, then he bottled. Then he went the second fermentation in the bottle, like champagne, basically. Cool thing about this wine, number one, it was one of our top wines in 2016, and it was listed on Decanter Magazine's top 75 wine buys of 2016. Right. All right, really interesting. Anything you want to add on this wine besides it was phenomenal?
It tastes like a vintage champagne, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been aged for quite a while. So I find that interesting. There's nutty aromas. It's yeasty, but not overly yeasty, so I can still taste the purity of fruit. The bubbles are very good, very fine texture. Just really interesting flavors and combination.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really nice. I haven't tasted a lot of vintage champagnes like Shireen, but it had texture, it was creamy, but it had a little bit of the wild orange wininess that I like, amber wininess, I'm sorry. So let's see what other sparklers we have today. This was actually given to us. This is Collage Collecti. I did not visit this producer. This is a non-vintage sparkling wine. This was okay. The bubbles were fine. It tasted like it was made mostly of Chardonnay. It was just okay, I guess. We have an interesting producer here. We have Ivančić, Griffin, Brut Natur. Here we go. This is made from Chardonnay. This is a zero dosage. So what that means is he doesn't add sugar right after taking off the cork and then getting the bottle prepared to be on the market. Now, this guy's real interesting for sparkling wines because he really doesn't like the yeastiness that comes out of champagne, and which some people may not. Not everybody loves champagne, right? Champagne can be yeasty. He wants pure fruit flavors in the wine. So he might be interesting for people that like the bubbles, like the fizz, but don't want the yeastiness. The zero dosage was probably our favorite one, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think it's more closer to, it has the texture, you know, the fine bubbles, but it's quite similar to cava.
Yeah, it's more
Fresher, yeah.
more cava-esque, so I think that was interesting. Some other producers here, they also make sparkling wine, but I'm just going to show you some other ones. This is Šember, who makes an amber wine, some white dry wines, and a sparkling wine, and actually a great sparkling rosé. This is the Pinot Noir from 2013. Very fruit-forward, straightforward, strawberry, cherry, a little bit of earth, not too shabby. I think he probably delivers maybe the best value for money sparkler in Croatia. Wouldn't you say that we've tasted?
Well, I like his rosé, yeah.
His rosé made out of Pinot Noir was quite good. We also have some of Towmots' still wines. This is the Sauvignon from 2015. Not your straightforward Sauvignon. And this is the reason why. A lot of the dry wines in Pleševica, I tasted like a chestnut taste, because a lot of them don't ferment in stainless steel. They have big, huge Slavonian oak casks that they've been passed down generation after generation. And you don't get any wood because it's all used oak, but I feel like I get a chestnutty like texture, which is interesting. This might have been my favorite producer in Pleševica. This is Korak. He's actually kind of a legend there in the area. This is his Chardonnay Sur Lie from 2013. Very gentle, very good. Maybe one of the best Chardonnays in Croatia. You have any objection to that? And he's interesting because he makes some interesting Riesling, some Sauvignon, but he has a small half-hectare plot of Syrah. This is the Syrah from 2013. I really like this. It was fruity, but not as fruity as an Australian Shiraz. It was earthy and dirty, but not as much as a Rhone Syrah. I would really like to drink this. I wish that I could get this to my cellar back in the States and keep this for 3 years, because I think it would develop really nicely. So it's a wonderful area. Pleševica, if you want to go to an area where it's truly an old world wine region, all these old houses, old cellars, these rolling hills. It almost looks kind of like Barolo, right, mate? Yeah.
Why not?
Really steep hills covered in vines. There aren't a ton of restaurants. There's not a lot of accommodation there. But it's really old school, authentic experiences with the producers. So, and these producers here were all making very good wines. And when I say very good, I mean all these wines here. Maybe the Collage is just okay. But the four producers I mentioned, Ivančić, Tomac, Korak, Šember, I think they can compete in the market in terms of worldwide. So that's that. Anything you want to add on Pleševica? Very interesting region. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I'll see you at the next episode.